Hi there, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Yanbian to Yenji for another one of our matches. We're against another team from Shanghai that's mostly anonymous here, and this should be another big win for us. We're expecting good things out of our boys, especially since this team is way down in 19th place, back down in the relegation zone. They only have a single point this whole season, so this should be pretty easy. We've had 2 weeks off here. We've had time to rest and time for a couple of other players here and there to get little injuries, but it's not going to be a huge problem. This just allows us to do a little bit more rotation. Wade gets over to Rovaglia, now to Delphi. Delphi looks forward to Dicko Eng. Dicko Eng tries to pass it back, looking for, I believe it's Jubin that we have in there, and it ends up being called offside. Jubin, it is him, ends up taking this free kick from range and just misses getting a goal. It's funny because all of those assistant coaches tell me that they want Jubin to be taken off of free kicks, and I tell them where to stick it. Lee Jin-young now over to Victor. Victor knocks it over to Jubin. Jubin back to Victor, over to Lee Jin-young. Lee Jin-young the Wade, back to Jubin. Jubin up to Delphi, and oh man, Kang Yuan, the goalkeeper here for Shanghai, barely gets in front of that. I was about to say that's going to be 1-0 right there, and he's just able to get his body in front of the shot. Victor now with the corner, looking for Kashin, just can't quite find him, and we'll see if we can get the ball back off of them. No, that's going to just be the end of the highlight, and that will do it. Jubin here had the ball in very, very good position, good movement without the ball, and set Delphi up, and that really should have been a goal. That was a good save by their goaltender, I would say. Good job, though, by Delphi, and good job by Jubin to have the vision to create that. Delphi now over to Dicko Eng. Dicko Eng looks forward for Rovaglia. Rovaglia tries to shoot it without really being ready. Instead, it knocks back to Jubin, who takes a shot from range, and that's not really his game there. But that's okay. It's another thought. We went in midfield again. It's Delphi with the ball, corralling it over to Dicko Eng. Dicko Eng takes it forward, looks for Rovaglia. This is going to be a goal. Pietro doesn't miss those. Showing Jubin how you shoot from back there. We're only 6 minutes into this match. How many highlights have we had? I mean, this has been pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, if you get Rovaglia in this type of position, he's going to score. I mean, it's just a simple thread the needle pass. There are no defenders there. And I mean, it doesn't matter what the goalkeeper does. He could like grow big arms, and like be a robot or whatever and try to put up a wall. And he's still not going to be able to do it in time. Dicko Eng over to Abrefa. Abrefa looks forward. And fortunately for Shanghai, they're able to intercept momentarily. Goes back to Wade. Wade with it now over to Abrefa, and we've got a guy way offside. I'm not sure who that was, and that meant that we couldn't pass it to the inside, which is normally what Abrefa would want to do. So we still are having a few problems trying to get cohesion. Victor now with this corner heads it over to Lazzo, who is not really up for this match. They were telling me it looked like he wasn't totally match fit. Only about 16,000 here in attendance today because I think it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to win. Rovaglia is fouled, no call for a penalty. It's not going to matter here in a second. Jubin now with it over to Delphi. Interesting that Jubin would pass instead of shoot from that position. Knocks this one up. Rovaglia almost gets a head over onto it, and it ends up going out for a goal kick in the end. Rovaglia almost had another one of those instances in which he scored on a ridiculous header, and just wasn't quite in position that time, but we had their goaltender way out of position. Jubin now with it. Jubin, and he is fouled, and they're going to call that as a penalty, and I think we're going to give Rovaglia to take this one. It's either Rovaglia or Delphi that's going to take this, but that was a pretty obvious shove. A little bit of acrobatics by Jubin, I would say. They're not going to show us the replay, of course, at the penalty because heaven forbid we see something that's interesting. Thank you, Sports Interactive. It is going to be Delphi here taking this penalty. He scores, and it's 2-0 Yanbian FC before we're 15 minutes into the match. Did you expect anything different? And it's unfortunate to say this, but that's one of the reasons why we're having a hard time getting more fans to show up to some of these matches. I mean, it's not that the weather's bad, not that we have a bad stadium or that we have a bad team. The reason why is because, I mean, I think people look at this matchup and say, why am I going to go attend that? I know what's going to happen. Rovaglia over to Jubin, to Lee Jin-young. Lee Jin-young takes it backwards over to Wade. That wasn't much of a shot by Wade, but it was a good idea, and it took Kang Yuan, the goaltender, by surprise. And I was expecting it to sort of trickle in. Wade now with it. Wade takes it forward, looks for Jubin and finds him. Jubin now looking for a cross, still looking for a potential cross. Crosses it finally over to Delphi, and Kang Yuan again is just able barely to get his hands on the ball and save that one. And you can tell that he's holding on for dear life. Kicks it straight to Abrefa over to Dicko Eng, back to Wade. Wade looks forward for Rovaglia, who must be offside, and they don't call offsides, but Kang Yuan again is once again able to get to the ball. I mean, we're just peppering them with shots, and take a look at this, and I do think Ravaglia was potentially offside. Maybe it was a little bit too close to call. But very, very good offensive move by us if he wasn't. We have an XG of 2.18. We're not even 20 minutes into this. Now, getting that penalty does help a little bit, but it also shows you what our offense has been doing. Victor now with his free kick over to Ravaglia, and he scores, and that was kind of pushed in by Kangyuan. That's not going to be offside, I can guarantee you that. That is kind of a ridiculous thing to look up. And the goal is awarded, of course. And I mean, we'll see the reason why here in a second. I mean, there's no way that that's going to be offside. You had about 5 different defenders who were out in front, not even close. We'll take a look at this replay, and as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 different defenders in white shirts were running and were in front of our players. And I mean, there's no reason to even look at that. But, you know, that's the way it is. That happens in real life too. -4 degrees. I said the temperature was nice. Maybe it wasn't as nice as I thought. -4 degrees, even though I'm pretty sure this is being played in October. So a little bit cold late October in Yenji, but also pretty realistic. Not much ice, though, or frost, luckily, I suppose, for us. Jubi now over to Ravaglia, who was offside the whole time, and Ravaglia doesn't get it. Lazzo ends up winning the header and knocks it backwards. And I don't know about this Lazzo guy. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stick with him. Ravaglia now gets it from Wade over to Delphi. Delphi with the shot, and he has a strong shot, but he was offside anyway. It doesn't really matter. Strong shot that was off target, off balance. And yeah, Lazzo with a 6.6. I'm not so sure about that guy. I might play him a little bit less as we go forward because I don't know if he's really a good enough player for this team. Wade with it now. Wade over to Dicko Eng. Dicko Eng to Delphi. Delphi takes another shot. I mean, we're just hammering them left and right. It's not even fair. Not even funny, really. And that goes out for a corner, and the corner is going to be another highlight, it looks like. And I don't know what that little bit of waiting was in between, but whatever. Victor now with it over to Kashin, and Kashin's shot, which was surprisingly of good quality for a center back, ends up being knocked back for another corner. And so it's with Abrefa again. Abrefa takes a step back and looks forward, looking again for Kashin, and that's knocked out for another corner. And we're going to have, looks like Abrefa take this corner again. He just will stand there, and we get it set up. You can see only 3 of our offensive players against like the 10 or whatever they have playing back, and we still are almost able to get ahead on it. Jubin now over to Lee Jin-young, back to Victor on the side. Victor has a pretty poor first touch, but recovers over to Lee Jin-young, back to Ravaglia to Jubin, and Jubin's shot is not that great, but the fans do cheer anyway and tell him that he made a good try. I guess this was a good try. I don't know. Jubin really should be hammering this one in. I mean, Ravaglia just totally sets him up. And not much of a hammer there on that foot from Jubin. And but I mean, he's only 16 years old, right? I mean, does he even have, you know, a driver's license? He can't drink. So what can we say about that? 3-0 Yanbian FC. We have had a lot of shots. I am happy so far with everybody except for one player, and that would be this guy Lazzo, who has not really impressed. I think Yin Dawei. So we want him actually to play right back. I don't know. How is... Yeah, let's just put Yin Dawei there in at center back, which he should be able to play, and sort of see what happens. Give him a little bit of game time. There's a general feeling, I think, that some of these youngsters are not quite good enough, but we do need to give them a little bit of game time and see how they can develop, and hopefully get them to the point where they are good enough if they have that potential. Victor throws over to Lee Jin-young. Lee Jin-young now moves laterally, moves past his man, takes a shot. Wow. What an individual effort there by Lee Jin-young, and almost gets his reward for doing so. Victor now with the free kick, looking for Ravaglia. Can't quite find him. The free kick wasn't that great. Over to Kashin now. Kashin over to Victor. Victor finds Dicko Eng. Dicko Eng makes a move and knocks it back to Wade over to Lee Jin-young, and we just reset. And Lee Jin-young steps back, winds up, and takes a shot and gets the corner. So 2 pretty good opportunities there for Lee Jin-young to add his name to the scorers list. And Victor here with the corner, and looking for Yan Dawei, can't find him. Over to Dicko Eng, back to Victor. Victor over to Eng. And that was a pretty good idea by Dicko Eng, but he just couldn't quite get that shot straightened out right. And it's back for a Shanghai throw. Still 3-0 Yanbian FC. And we have been dominant so far in this match, but I would like to see more goals if we could get them. Jubin with the kind of, I don't know, a little flimsy kick in the air over to Lee Jin-young. Delphi gets past his man and really should have scored that one. Kang Yuan's having a great match. 7.2 rating, and I'm not surprised. I mean, he's been single-handedly, keeping us out. Rovaglia now looking to thread it over to Delphi, just can't quite find him. I mean, we have those dangerous, incisive passes. It's like watching a surgeon. And this is going to be back with Liu Xiaoziyang. I'm not quite sure why we're still seeing this highlight because there's really very little happening. He throws over to Victor, rolls it out to him. Victor over to Yi Jinyong. Yi Jinyong back to Kaixin, now to Wade. And Wade slowly moves it up now over to Dickoing quickly and over to Jubin. Jubin is going to take a shot from range, which is probably not what he should be doing. Ends up back with Victor here. And Victor sort of walks with it, puts a couple of moves on, and then looks for a little pass forward to, I'm guessing, Rovaglia, and just can't find him. And so it is. Now it's another Shanghai throw, and it's a Brefa who's able to head that one back to Dickoing over to Delphi. And Delphi still with it. Over passes to Dickoing, who blows up on the shot and shoots it into just about a bunch of nothing. We're probably playing Dickoing on the wrong side, but I don't really care that much. We'll just keep this going. As another throw in for Shanghai. Yi Jinyong tries to get a foot onto it. Victor winds up corralling it over to Wade, back to Liu Xiaoziyang, back to Victor now. And Victor puts a couple more moves on. Nobody's even close to him. Passes it back to Kaixin over Yi Jinyong. We're kind of standing around waiting for it. Here it is with Rovaglia, back to Victor. Victor now over to Kaixin. And Aaron's just going to sort of relax a little bit, then passes it over to Victor, now to Yi Jinyong. Yi Jinyong looks forward, finds Dickoing for a header from range. And I mean, we are kind of enjoying ourselves. You get this feeling that we can do whatever we want in this match and experiment and have all sorts of fun. And they're telling me I should put Chung Bingbing on. And I think I will actually do that here in a second. So as Victor tries to win that ball off of his man, the game starts to glitch out a little bit once again. We've been having a lot of fun on FM23, haven't we? Wade ends up winning the ball back, and he knocks it forward for Rovaglia. That's a real desperate kind of exploratory pass. Not something I would expect to see for a team on a balanced setting with a 3-goal lead. Eng now knocks it back to Yan Dawei, and that's what you should be doing. Let's slow it up a little bit. Yan Dawei now walks it forward over to Delphi. Delphi looks for a cross, crosses it backwards to Wade, and that ends up going just about nowhere, and we are going to make a quick substitution here. I think that we're going to take Delphi out. We will give Chung Bingbing just a little bit of game time, and Dickoing, who I don't think has had the best of games, is going to be out. We'll put Ding Yuchi, and I'm not sure if Ding Yuchi has even played yet. Let's take a look and see what he has to offer. Maybe he has, and I just have forgotten. We might also be playing some of these guys slightly out of position, but we'll have fun anyway. Ding Yuchi winds up grabbing this one, knocks it forward for Rovaglia, who takes a shot, of all things, and Kang Yuan once again makes the save. And Kang Yuan has probably got an argument for man of the match here. And we're just going to sort of wait this one out. Victor now knocks it forward, looking for Kaixin. Can't quite find him. And it's knocked all the way back to Victor. That's pretty impressive header, whoever got that. Ding Yuchi now takes a shot from up close. And, I mean, it's not close to much of anything at all. But that looks like a lot of what Dickoing's shots look like, too. So, I mean, we'll take it. Still 3-0 Yanbian FC. There's a throw into Wade over to Jubin. Jubin over to Ding Yuchi. Ding Yuchi over to Yi Jinyong, and he blows up on it and just can't quite get that one in. We need to work on our shooting. Really, really poor match here so far from, looks like from Kaixin, which is a little bit surprising to me. Well, I've thought hasn't played all that poorly. We're going to take him out, put in Yanquan, and see if we can figure out what's going on. I mean, we haven't had any problems on defense so far. Of course, as I say that, they get a shot on goal that ends up sort of bouncing around the very top of the woodwork. I'm surprised it's not called off for a goal kick. I'm not sure what the rules say about that. Jubin kicks it right into the wall, which is not a very productive way to score, but it does get us a corner anyway. Victor now with the corner knocks it forward, looking for Yanquan, and that's knocked past the goal and is out once again. And we are just trying to wait out the last couple moments of this match. Chung Bingbing has done absolutely nothing. Liu throws it in here to Fan Lingjiang, I think it was. I didn't see his name fully. It doesn't matter because we took it off of him quickly. Over to Yan Dawei. We're just going to wait this one out and wait for the final whistle, I think. Brefa now with it, and he knocks it forward, and there is the final whistle. 3-0 Yanbian FC. Very good first half. The second half was kind of meh. But so it is. I mean, we'll take what we're given. 3-0 Yanbian FC, and we're going to move up the rankings again. And I think that we might be on route to get into first place. We'll see soon. And I will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.